This is St. Thomas Church, located in Leipzig, Germany. It's one of the largest churches in Germany. It's home to Johann Sebastian Bach. In fact, he's buried there after working there later on in his life. It was built by the Catholics, so how did it become Lutheran? Well, in 1525, the dukes and princes of Germany stole all the Catholic property and made it their own, and made Lutheranism the official state religion, controlled by the dukes and princes. Catholicism was outlawed, so there was no freedom of religion. Catholic priests were killed or kicked out, as well as with civilians. The monasteries were also acquired by the dukes and princes of Germany, as well as if the monastery had a vineyard or some way of revenue for the church. That property was also acquired by the duke or princes in these certain districts or counties. Now, not all cities actually turned to Lutheranism. Most in the north did, but it wasn't just a German thing. It happened in Denmark, it happened in Switzerland, it happened in France, it happened in England. The princes and royalty took the property from the Catholic Church for revenue purposes. They were going broke. The economy was dying, inflation was increasing. All of this property acquisition was under the guise of religious reforms. We call it the Protestant Reformation. If you read any history books on the Protestant Reformation, you'll find that the vast majority of authors spend their time talking about Martin Luther, his life, his theology versus the Catholic Church, and this 15th century movement called humanism. Meanwhile, they gloss over some of the most important facts and events that happened during this period. Some will even go as far as romanticizing some of the events and Martin Luther himself. I kid you not, I listened to a book just recently on Audible about Martin Luther's life, and the author portrayed him as this jovial Friar Tuck, and all the harsh stuff that he wrote and anti-Semitic stuff was all just him kidding around. He was a joker, and historians didn't get him, but this author seemed to understand him. Getting to the actual truth of the Protestant Reformation is not an easy task. There's too many people worried about the sensibilities or offending others, Catholics and Protestants alike. So I want to go over the Protestant Reformation and get to the truth and forget all the shenanigans. You know, Martin Luther wrote 55 books in his lifetime, actually, and a heck of a lot more sermons. But nobody cares. The vast majority of Protestants don't agree with his teachings anyway. The only thing they care about is sola fide and sola scriptura. Outside of Germany and Denmark, the vast majority of Protestants don't believe in his version of confession or the Eucharist or baptism. So who cares what he wrote? Martin Luther is the puppet show to distract you from what really happened. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. From the year 1519 to the year 1525, Germany is experiencing an increase in crime, in unrest, in riots, and revolts. We're talking, some of the items would be the Knights' Revolt of 1523. And all this unrest or destruction is capped off with the Peasants' Revolt of 1525, which kills 100,000 people. Now, to give you the idea of what 100,000 means in Germany, think about Martin Luther's hometown of Wittenberg had a population of 3,000 at this time, and 100,000 people are killed in 1525, all because of Martin Luther's writings. Now, here's the ironic twist. Do you think the nobles and princes would do something about Martin and his writings? No. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They adopt his rebellious beliefs into the formal state religion. Does that sound just a little odd to you? The nobles and princes thought to themselves, hey, this guy's got some pretty good ideas. Let's keep going down this path. I think some good things are going to come from this. Let's keep going this way. And they never lay a finger on him, the sole instigator for throwing the country into chaos for 6 years. Nobody wants to touch him. And you, the student of history, are supposed to just go along with it and believe theology has a lot to do with it. So in the next couple videos, I'm going to be going over the Protestant Reformation. And I'm going to try and give you an unbiased look into the truth. I will discuss Martin Luther's life and teachings, but it will be very brief. He's just a stooge. He's a clown in this whole period. The Protestant Reformation has more to do with money and power than it does his beliefs or theology. So get ready. If you are interested in this subject, I would ask that you hit the bell so you will be notified when I put up a new video covering this subject. If you're not interested, then just don't hit the bell. In any event, I appreciate you watching this video. Thanks again.